Okay guys, what's up? Welcome back to part 2. So basically in this one we're going to be setting up the base to our models and our migrations and everything else. So I literally went just to register before I started this tutorial, and it threw an error. I didn't even realize we forgot to import something here. So normally I kind of just edit this into the previous video and it just looked completely fucked, but we started here, we started from the previous spot. We're missing this, it's included. So now we're just gonna quickly register here again. And hopefully, typing the password wrong. Hopefully it will work. There we go, we're logged in. So I'm just gonna quickly do the honors here and change this app name. We gotta do it, guys. Okay, so that logs you out. I didn't know that. It's interesting. So basically we're gonna start with the models and the migrations. At the moment we're gonna be starting with statuses. I think the only thing I can think of for status is like basic thing, like, you know, some text and an image. I reckon we call it we have is a JSON field and call it attachment or something, but let's actually create these page browser and make migration make model, and we will call this status. Although I kind of want to call it a post, you know, it is a post. Well, I'll call it a post. So let's go to the migration, which doesn't seem to be here right yet. Just not synced yet. Alt 1, by the way, to open and close this, if you didn't know that. So we're gonna add to this a user ID with unsigned index, because that's gonna be a foreign key. We're gonna have a long text which holds the content for that post, and we're gonna have a JSON column which we'll call attachment. Now this is gonna be, you know, whether the user decided to post like an image, a video, or maybe want something special in there that we can define at a later date, stop us from modifying our JSON, our table migration. Right now I can't see anything else just yet that needs to be added. We'll most likely find something else at a later date, but for now this is good. Foreign user ID, references ID on users on delete cascade. So if you don't know what foreign keys do, basically this tells this column here that it needs to reference the ID on the users table, and when we delete a user, we're just gonna delete the insert for the posts that are there for that user, if that makes sense. So there's our post migration. We're gonna go ahead and create a controller. Controller. And we're also gonna quickly set up our endpoints here. So we're not gonna need that default one. Okay. What I like to do is group all my endpoints like this. You know, that's gonna be /post, so we'll prefix it with that. And now here you can just do, you know, root get. Don't even have to define anything there. Mainly we're gonna be focusing on the create, which we will do in this video, I think. So we only had a couple of basic variables, didn't we? Which was user ID, content, attachment. Before we go any further, let's quickly define our relationship on the user. Return this has many posts class. So the user has many posts. And now for creating, we will validate it. Just to make sure the content is quiet. So trying to think of the best way I wanted to do this. So for now, we'll just worry about creating text statuses. Request content, and now we can do. Do it this way. Sorry, I can never decide how I like to do my individual things. So we'll just save it this way. It's a different way I've been doing it. I don't really like doing it that way, because I'm not using a user object, but I would have to pull in the user object and define the user ID anyway, so I mean, that saves me that job. We'll just return a success message. There again, this is going to be created via JavaScript, so we won't return a redirect. We'll return response JSON. And we'll just return the post. Well, considering we're going to be working with API here, we will create an API resource. So I'm going to make resource post resource. And this is typically how I like to work with my APIs. Return new post resource. So for now, we don't actually have to add any formatting into there, but if we ever decide we want to make anything formatted specifically, we can quite easily go ahead and do that. So basically, that's our create functionality. We're not going to be doing the create UI in this video. That's going to be in the next one. Sorry guys, trying to keep them short rather than long. But yeah, we'll do the UI in the next video. We've got a model defined. We've got our endpoint. Literally, all we have to do now is set up a card to do that, and you know, add the inputs and post it, and we've created a post. So in the next video, we'll actually do the listing endpoint. Actually, let's quickly do the list endpoint now. So now we can split like these two videos up. So what we'll do, this should technically list all of our friends or people who we follow statuses, right? If it's a social media site, but for now, we don't have that functionality, so we will just list our own. So let's just do it this way. Auth user post order by ID descending, and we want to paginate by 10. Probably do it higher. I also like to do this. I don't see many other people doing this, which I find quite interesting. Basically, if most people would just straight up return, hold on, let me just type this out. Post resource. Okay, so most people wouldn't return that. They would just do it straight up like this, and then, you know, the endpoint would return like an empty data, and then you can check that in your code, but that is kind of annoying. I like it personally to be able to just throw an actual error response, and then my Axios can check for that and catch that as a normal error. Just the way I personally like to work, but yeah. That's our endpoint for listing those, and that should work perfectly fine. I believe. We'll find out in the next series, in the next episode, sorry. But yeah, like I say, we'll do all the UI for listing these. I'm creating one in the next video, and this video has been the creating and all the back end work, so that's awesome. So see you on the next videos, guys, and thank you for watching. See you next time.